In this video we go through all of the upcoming release dates for the 2019 Vintage Collection action figures and vehicles. Hey there Star Wars collectors, welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video, and as I mentioned before we are going to be going through the release dates for the 2019 Vintage Collection action figures and vehicles. I just thought with all the news coming out of New York Toy Fair and the amount of things that were revealed, I thought it'd be a good idea to do a video on when these things are being released. It's kind of hard to keep up with the amount of things that have been revealed and when they're coming out, so I'm going to do my best to let you know when those things are likely to drop. Now before we get started, if I could just ask you, if you wouldn't mind just hitting that like button down below, it really does help the video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the little notification bell and you'll get notified of any new videos I make. Now with all that being said, let's get on to the first item that's coming up. Now what better place to start than the Jabba's sail barge, the Katana. So it looks like that's going to be shipping around the 4th of March to the people that managed to get it first time around on the HasLab. Now obviously UK collectors, we're waiting with bated breath for the link to appear on Hasbro Pulse for the eBay link, so we can go off and hopefully buy one of the last remaining 1,000 of those. I'm hoping to get one, and we'll just have to see what happens with that. Also in March we have the 41st Elite Corp Clone Trooper. Now this figure's already starting to drop into people's hands in the US from Entertainment Earth, so it's an Entertainment Earth exclusive. People in the UK that pre-ordered this guy back in October, November, we're hoping to see this guy anywhere between now and the beginning of April. Another figure that we're hoping to be getting in March is the Han Solo in Stormtrooper disguise. Now this one's a Target exclusive. Now in the US, I think this might actually be down for May, but obviously the UK sites, sometimes we get the exclusives a little bit earlier, and all the usual suspect websites like In Demand Toys and Star Action Figures, Dark Side Toys, etc. All of those sites have this as a release date in March. Moving on into April, we have the Wave 5 of the Vintage Collection, or if you're going way back and counting from the very beginning, I think this is actually Wave 21. And this is the wave that includes Captain Phasma, the Praetorian Guard, Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian from the Solo movie, and the Rogue One Stormtrooper. So I'm really looking forward to this wave. The Stormtrooper looks absolutely amazing, can't wait for him. The Captain Phasma is a repack from the Black Series, as is the Praetorian Guard. The Lando figure looks awesome. If he's anything like the Black Series version, he'll be brilliant. And obviously I think Chewbacca's a repack, but again it would be great to get him on a vintage style card. As I mentioned, those are likely to drop around the beginning of April. Moving on into May, we've just got the one figure to talk about, which is the Gamorrean Guard. And obviously this figure was actually available a couple of weeks ago now. I think a website called Robot Kingdom or something like that in the Far East had this figure, and a lot of companies in the UK managed to get hold of them, so I was lucky enough to get hold of one. But the Entertainment Earth website in the US has this on pre-order for May. Moving on to July, which is going to be potentially one of the busiest and most expensive times to be a collector. There's so many vintage collection items due to be released in July, and the first one we're going to talk about is the Vintage Collection Skiff vehicle. So it's an Entertainment Earth exclusive and priced at $39.99. I think that's really good value, good fair price on that one. Next up we have the Star Wars Vintage Collection Skiff Guard action figure 3-pack. Again, this is another Entertainment Earth exclusive, and once again it's $39.99, which again I think is pretty good value for a 3-pack. You get some good figures in there, 2 repacks of the Black Series and 1 brand new figure. But as I say, with the barge coming out, everyone's going to want this one, and at $39.99, yep, I'm pretty happy with that. Now this is where it starts to get a bit expensive. So also in July we are set to have Wave 6 of the Vintage Collection, or Wave 22 if you're counting from all the way from the start. This is the wave that's going to include the Death Star Gunner, the Assault Tank Commander, R2-D2, Darth Revan, and Luke Skywalker in his crate outfit. So another great wave to look forward to. Can't wait to get this one. And again, I'll be having to buy 2 sets of these, one to keep carded and one to open. So all in all, July's looking like a pretty expensive month. Okay, so next up we have the Vintage Collection Lando Skiff Guard disguise. This one I believe is a Walmart exclusive. Now I've got this to land in August, although some of the websites in the UK have him scheduled for arrival in April. I'm not too sure about that. I think this might be one that gets delayed. All the websites in the US seem to have this coming out in August, September. So we'll just have to wait and see so we get some more news on this one. But again, another great figure that I really can't wait for. He's going to go really, really well with the rest of the figures that are coming out this year. They're all linked to Jabba the Hutt and the Sail Barge and Tatooine. It's going to be really, really good to have all of those on display together. Next up we have the Jabba's Palace Adventure playset. Now this one I've put in August because at the moment we don't really know when this one's going to drop. I've heard conflicting views. Some people say it's going to be July, August. Other people say it's going to be the spring. But as of yet I've seen no websites that actually have a legitimate pre-order for it that actually state the month that this thing's going to arrive. So at the moment I'm putting it in August and we'll just have to wait and see. So this is a set that I'm sure we're all looking forward to. Not only is it an awesome play set in a vintage style box which looks absolutely amazing, but it also comes with 2 vintage style cards that we haven't had yet. So the figures are the Han Solo in Carbonite and Reese. So once again the Jabba theme there. 2019 is definitely the year for Jabba the Hutt. Can't wait for that. It also looks like it's potentially a modular build where you can add extra bits on. So, if you could just imagine potentially we could get a Rancor pit. How awesome would that be if we had a vintage collection Rancor with the Rancor Keeper, a Jedi Knight Luke with the bone in his hand. Can't wait. Come on, Hasbro. You know what to do. But as I said before, I don't have a definitive release date for this one. If you happen to know, let me know in the comments below. I'll be more than interested. As I said, it is a Walmart exclusive, so people in the UK, you're going to have to rely on the usual suspect websites. The only other figure that we know of that is coming is possibly going to be in Wave 7, which is due in September. That's Poe Dameron, again a repack of the Black Series, but with using the new face photoreal technology. Other than that, that is it for the list of vintage collection figures and vehicles that are coming out in 2019. If you have any other information about the availability of these figures, maybe some of them are coming early, do let me know in the comments below. I hope you found this video useful. As I mentioned before at the start of the video, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like down below. It really does help the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we shall see you on the next video.